And we're back. This time, we're going to remember to put on the zipper pull. What's so funny about this is in all the instructions, on every page where there's a zipper, I write zip pull on, and a question mark. But not today. So, back to our zipper tabs. We've got the zipper. I'm going to put the zip pull on before I forget it. Now, I don't know how you guys put yours on. If you're lucky, you've had a lot of practice at it, or you've got a zip jig. My husband keeps getting so confused about how this is supposed to work. I find it easier to do it with my hands. You can do it from the back. I can't see it that good. I put one side in at an angle, the other side in at the angle, try to get them even. Oh, why won't that adjust? I'm sure it's operator error. Anyway, I try to get them even. I lay it down and pull. 9 times out of 10 it works. What I will do is, if I have a little gap, you see there's a little gap. I'll take my zipper pull to the other end and then unzip it. And now my zip pull is on the right side. Now we're going to put our zipper tabs on. And now that's going to go off to the side. Let's see what's next. We've already done our D-rings. We've done our zipper tabs. We're going to work on the zipper pocket lining. Strangely enough, that was the next thing in my box. This has several pieces to it. We are going to go through them one by one. When I cut my zipper overlays, I cut two, one a little bit smaller than the other. One goes on the outside of the bag, and I wasn't sure if I was going to use this on the inside or not. I am not going to, just so I can keep this pretty true to the pattern, this bag pretty true to the pattern. But I think that would have looked really cute, right? Anyway, so we have our zipper pull, and what do we need to do? We have our zipper tape. We need to put the zipper pull on. So this is going on the inside lining. What do I want to put on there? I think I'm just going to put a plain old blue zipper pull. Now you can see here, this end is not very even, kind of has, it slopes up. This is very even, so I'm going to use this side to put my zipper on. Okay, I'm back with the right zipper pull. Zip's ready. Put it off to the side. Now we're going to prepare the lining. I have already marked in 2 places what we're going to do. I have marked the zipper box, and I have marked where that box is going to go on the outside or right side of my lining fabric. You will find those measurements in the pattern. So what we're going to do is match up the actual pocket on the actual lining. Have I said actual enough? Can't believe I don't have my centers marked. Let me do that real quick. Fabrics are right side together. So we're going to line up our lining pocket with the center of one of our lining panels. We're going to follow the measurements in the pattern, which is what I've done. I've also marked my centers just to make sure I get it right. On this particular piece, I want this pocket lining fabric to be in a certain direction. So I made sure to mark this is the top and this is the bottom, because when it's actually inside the pocket, I want the writing to read correctly on both sides. I'll show you when we get to that point. So now that I've got everything lined up, I might check one more time by taking my ruler and saying I'm the same distance from both sides, and I am. I could scooch it over just a tad, but not very much. Now, at this point, feel free to pin, double side tape, clip, however you want to do it. My fabrics are sticking together pretty good, so I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to put this under my needle, and I am going to sew only the straight lines between these 2 boxes. So can you see the box there and the box, the edge of the box there, edge of the box there? I'm going to sew only the straight lines between those 2 marks, back stitching a couple of stitches, at the beginning and the end. And there goes another clip. I'm going to put my zip foot back to center. I'm still using a joining stitch. I'm going to find the very edge of that box with my needle. I'm actually going to put my needle down, make sure everything's straight. I'm going to start off with a couple of stitches, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go back to 1, 2. I do not want to go well, you can't see it, but in beyond that box border. With my joining stitch and moving my ruler, I'm going to stitch to the other end and try to stop right on that corner. Ooh, I did. That doesn't happen very often. And take a couple of back stitches. And cut it. Now, how I like to do this is kind of like I do on the strap. I go back to the top. I don't pivot like this. I go back to the top start at the same place, get it as close as I can, and I'm going to stitch all along this line. Let's see, I moved y'all somehow. Well, not somehow. It just tends to happen. I don't know why. So all along this straight line, I'm going to take 2, 3 stitches, go back 1, 2, and straight stitch to that next corner, and a couple of back stitches. I used to be of the school where you sewed in these vertical lines for your box. But someone somewhere along the way showed not doing it that way, and what a better turn you get, and I could not agree more. You really do get a better turn. Now that we have that sewn, we're going to put a starting cut line here. Let me choose a pair of scissors. What I was going to show you when I so unceremoniously dropped you was my bag trolley and all the zippers I have. I keep all my supplies for bag making on this cart that I can roll from station to station. I'll give you a look at my fabricator over there just beyond the owl eyes. I keep a lot of supplies on here so I can just roll it from place to place. I have a multitude of scissors and double-sided tape and glue and pins. But let's get back to sewing this bag. Okay. So now we're going to make a cut right here to get us started. I'm going to grab a pair of scissors, make sure I'm not cutting through stitches, and get it started. Then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and find my cutting board, and I'm going to cut the rest of this with my X-Acto knife. I find that I get a lot better cut in the corners with this baby. So I can cut to within about an inch of the end with scissors. Then I'm going to take the X-Acto knife and get right in this corner and cut back to my scissor cut line. So let's zoom in for this. So I'm going to go right into the corner and cut back towards the scissor cut line. Maybe a couple of times it'll take me to get it right. But I'm going to go right into that corner. I think I need a new blade. Inside out. Well, into the piece we just cut. Luckily, this is not too heavy, so it's gonna lay very nicely. This blue along the edge is my friction pin. The blue right there is my friction pin, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now we've got a really nice outside and a really nice inside for our zipper. And when we put the pocket together, this side, the words will be up, and on this side, the words will be up. And how I did that is I took the entire piece, split it down, added a little bit extra, split it down the middle, fixed it the way I wanted it, and sewed it back together. And since this is a zip pocket lining, no one's ever going to know. So now we're going to take our zipper and our double-sided tape. I'm going to use the 1/8 inch for this. My camera has turned again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Hopefully we can see that. I'm going to lay it on the front side along the edge. And remember when I told you earlier I was going to tell you something about just laying the tape and pressing it on this already kind of wavy zipper tape, and I think I'm going to iron it because it's really wavy. I definitely want to do that because I do not want my zipper to be wavy in my zipper box. So I'm going to iron it first, and I'm going to be really careful how I put the double-sided tape on. It does help if you get your zipper pull as close to the end as you can, but don't let it come off. Or, like me, you may forget to put it back on. So I'm going to lay the tape and press. Lay the tape with no pull. And I'm just lightly running my finger over, not real hard dragging it. Now I'm going to do the bottom. I'm going to straighten out the tape as much as I can. You can see that it is not real straight in and of itself. There we go. I'm going to just gently press it. I'm going to take, I think, the bottom off. Normally how I do it, unwrap the double-sided tape, if you will. See how can y'all see how wavy that is? I'm a little concerned about that. But I think I'll be able to make it good in my box. Then I'm going to make sure, as much as I can, that my zipper tape is centered in my zipper box. It doesn't have to be exact, but you do have to have some on each end. I'm going to get it as much in the center as I can and gently lay it onto that tape and press. Then I'm going to pull my zipper pull in. Very important, right? That your zipper pull is inside the box. And see how I like it. I think it's pretty good. Now I'm going to take the top double-sided tape protector off and lay my top down and press it. Unzip my zip just a little bit. And make sure it's all centered. I would tell you right now that that's the first time I've ever got that to look that good. It never happens the first time. Normally I'm picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down. Now what we're going to do is stitch around our box. I like to do it between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. I'm using my zipper foot for everything anyway, but using a zipper foot so you can get pretty close. If you don't like to use your zipper foot or don't feel it gives you enough pressure, if you have a foot, this may be the easiest to see, kind of like this. Where are y'all? Where you can move your needle back and forth. So you can move it all the way to one side or all the way to the other. That's also a good thing. If you are unsure of where you want to stop, you can take a pen. Where's my blue pen? And depending on what allowance you're using, make yourself a stopping point on the fabric. So I'm going to make 2 little dots and stop there. The end where those end box can be very hard to do. And I have to look through that little hole in my zipper foot. Now all we have to do is sew it up. So now we have our lining with a zipper pocket, and when you open up your zipper, you've got a cute lining, and for me, my writing is right side up on both of them. There you have it. Let's move on to the next piece.